Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I put together an incredible video for you guys and gals today. You're not going to want to miss this. We are talking about Russia now adding silver to its reserves, squeezing dwindling silver supplies. We already know that all these countries in the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, plus many more, along with the BRICS summit meeting in 4 days, 150 plus countries coming together, potentially announcing their new currency called the unit, which is a digital currency backed by physical commodities like gold and silver. Well, all of a sudden now we have this news of Russia adding a whole bunch of silver to its reserves. We already know that silver is at all-time highs in the Russian ruble, the Indian rupee, the Canadian dollar, the Australian dollar, the African rand. I mean, silver is at all-time highs in all these other countries and currencies, but why not the US dollar? It's like we're just disconnected from reality. And is the US dollar next? Well, no type of Western suppression will be able to stop the inevitable force of fundamentals, supply and demand, especially with something as valuable and as needed as silver. So with that said, folks, if you wanted to purchase some of this shiny stuff, you can email me, slayer@milesfranklin.com, or call me 330-485-6172. We have incredible specials right now. Kangaroos, $2.99 over spot. Buffalo rounds, we have 90% silver. We have pre-33 gold. We have 10-ounce bars, 1,000-ounce Comex bars. We have everything. The biggest inventory I've ever seen. And if someone else does have a lower price, I will try to match it. I'm not a stingy guy. I'm not doing this just for money. I love building business relationships with you all as well. So hit me up. Now, thanks for listening through those announcements. Let's jump into this article. Russia is adding silver to its reserves, squeezing dwindling silver supplies. I find it so interesting that silver is at all-time highs in the Russian ruble right now. Why is nobody talking about that? I'm the first person that I've heard cover it. When I found all of these different currencies out, I found that out myself and was shocked. I mean, have you heard anyone else mention that besides me? If you watch other channels, that's a very it's a very big thing. It's a very big deal. So Russia's central bank has recently announced plans to purchase silver as part of its reserves, a decision that could have significant implications for the global silver market. So this move marks them doubling down on their gold accumulation record and de-dollarization strategy. By bringing gold's little sister, silver, along, all of Russia's friends in BRICS will join the joyride. And John Forrest Little mentions that. And it's so true, especially, remember, we have the BRICS meeting in 4 days. This is not coincidence. This is strategically planned. They are playing chess and we are playing checkers. You and I are doing the right thing, though. We're following what everyone else is. Why are all the most powerful countries, right? All these big countries, these central banks, all the biggest banks, all the wealthiest billionaires, why are they all buying silver? I'm about to make a video talking about Warren Buffett specifically buying silver. He has a whole bunch. He specifically goes with silver as well. So Russia's draft federal budget for the upcoming year includes provisions for the Russian State Fund, which acts as the central bank to continue acquiring gold, platinum, and palladium while also venturing into silver for the first time. Now, we've heard countries like India and China buying boatloads. India buying more silver than almost we produce in 4 months. I mean, it is absolutely insane to see the amounts of silver these countries are buying. But now Russia as well, when we already have a 770 million ounce deficit in the last 4 years, it's just getting started. And that's why no type of Western suppression will be able to battle this type of deficit. So this is particularly noteworthy given that Russia ranks as the world's 8th largest silver producer with an annual output of approximately 38.5 million ounces. The decision to accumulate silver will have massive positive and explosive impacts on the silver market. And first and foremost, this acquisition is likely to drive up silver prices substantially. And let me explain why. There is a direct correlation between silver demand and the price. If you ever look at a chart, it's like identical. So if we know that demand is going up, what does that say about the price? The global silver supply is already struggling to meet rising demand, right? They're saying some analysts predicting an increase of 50% or more within the next year. It's already struggling to meet demand. It actually hasn't in several years. Russia's purchases could further tighten an already constrained market. The increasing use of silver in industrial applications such as photovoltaic technology, aerospace, military, AI, 5G, electrical conductivity has led to supply shortages that are becoming more pronounced. Historically, central banks in countries like the US, India, Mexico have held silver as part of their reserves. Russia's move will signal a return to this practice, influencing other nations to follow suit. While silver may be less critical to Russia's economy compared to gold, this acquisition is most definitely a strategic decision given that US discourages silver and wastes most of it on bombs. And he says that because there's up to 500 ounces of silver in one single Tomahawk missile. That's a monster box, just boom. 11,000 ounces in some torpedoes. Those are just extremes. But think about all the other bombs and missiles and satellites and drones and rockets and all these different surveillance and AI chips and it's insane. Just that's just talking about military. I'm not even going into solar panels and all that or nuclear, right? That's just the military. Since 2011, silver prices have lagged behind those of gold and palladium, suggesting that there is a significant room for growth. And there is. Look at silver at $32.50 and tell me that an ounce of silver is too pricey for that. When you look at an ounce of gold sitting at 2,700, but gold is useless. It just sits around in vaults, just sits around or worn on people's wrists and necklaces. But silver sitting here, literally making the world go round, and it's only $32. That's suppression. And that suppression will be dissolved and its natural price will be able to rise. As Russia moves forward with its plans to accumulate silver, the global precious metals market is likely to experience substantial shifts. This will lead to a bullish trend for silver in the coming years, making it an intriguing investment opportunity for those watching the market closely. While US banks are closing under systemic risk due to bad commercial real estate loans and zero reserve requirement, gold and silver are the only two safe assets remaining. Now that we have proven, and also Russia's BRICS, that silver is about to explode, it's time to profit from silver. Okay, we're not going to go into all that, but yeah, I mean, if you guys wanted to, I recommend Dolly Varden. That's the only silver, or I guess, silver exploration mining company I would recommend. There's others that I'm sure are great, but I interviewed Sean Kuhn, which is the CEO of Dolly Varden. Very impressive guy. Already found over 65 million ounces of silver, expanding outwards. They're in the Golden Triangle. Found over 1 million ounces of gold as byproduct. He's a very smart guy. But yeah, just buy the physical. If you're gonna venture out in that stuff, be careful, do your research. I only know about Dolly. I don't know about the other ones. That's why that's the only one I could recommend, or I would personally recommend. So let's look at. The BRICS meetings in 4 days. It's providing an important platform for leaders to discuss key global issues. The United States is at the middle of all these issues, right? And if the BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, but there's like 150 countries coming together. There's already so many countries trying to sign up for the BRICS, right? They're taking over the world with the Belt Road Initiative, Project Enbridge. There's so many different things that that is happening that is kicking the Western countries like the United States to the curb. There's a huge power shift happening. So we have to remember what's going to play out. I'm talking about this from a precious metals perspective, right? I'm not a geopolitical channel. I talk about these situations because it has an impact on silver, and I'm a silver channel. So I have to talk about things that affect the price of silver. So looking at the outcomes of all that, the big power shift from west to east, Western suppression of silver's price, if they are losing grasp on that type of reality, that's going to naturally push silver higher. That's why I talk about it, because that's going to positively affect silver as this is happening, right? And that's why I mentioned it. Plus, it's important to know regardless. But anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a little bit of a short video, but there's not much else to cover on this note. Russia's adding silver to its reserves now. This is a big deal, very big deal. We already, we're already in a big enough deficit as it is. Now this is just going to add the icing, add the icing on the cake. Could be the cherry on top. So anyways, yeah, I appreciate you all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. And make sure you guys, if you guys wanted to purchase some of this shiny stuff, you could email me, slayer@milesfranklin.com, or call me 330-485-6172. I'd be happy to help. Thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.